All right, so today's notes is converting units of measure. So you've probably done this before in 5th grade. However, I need to show you the expectation for 6th grade. So first of all, there are two different types of systems we have. We have the metric system and the customary system. Here in the United States, we use the customary system, whereas everyone else in the world uses the metric system. There are three different types of measurements. You have length, volume and capacity, and weight and mass. Now, am I expecting you to memorize all this? No. Okay. Everything's going to be located on your 6th grade STAR chart that is given to you on your STAR test or on your benchmark test. Now, we are going to use proportions to convert between units of measure. So as you see, this is going to be very repetitive. So I need you to write this down in your journal. 1, set up the word ratio. What you have over what you are solving for. 2, set up your proportion. Your first ratio is going to be information from the STAR chart. So we said before, the first ratio should be what info is given to you. Well, the STAR chart is the info given. The second ratio, use the info from the problem. Then you're going to cross multiply and divide. So go ahead and pause the video if you need more time to write this down. And something else to note is you must use units, and we'll talk about that as we solve. So I have the problem 36 inches equals blank feet. So I need to start off by writing that word ratio. So I have inches to feet. I then am going to go over and look at my handy dandy STAR chart for these two units. So I see 1 foot equals 12 inches. So that's what I know. So I'm going to write that down. 12 inches over 1 foot. Remember, feet and foot mean the exact same thing. Equals. Now I can write what's given in my problem. So I have 36 inches over x feet. Okay, so I'm going to check. Do I have my word ratio? Correct. Do I have my info given? Yes. Do I have the info from the problem? Yes. Now I am able to solve. So I'm going to cross multiply. So 36 times 1 gives me 36. So that'll go underneath my division sign. And I divide by whatever's left over, so by 12. And I get x equals 3 feet. Now, a couple things about this problem. 1, if you just write x equals 3, that is wrong. 3 what? 3 dogs, 3 cats, 3 people, $3. I don't know what you're talking about. So you need to write feet. Okay, that's what it means by make sure you use your units, your labels. The other thing, I understand you can probably do this in your head. That's great. But in order to show your work, I need to see this proportion. The reason for that is when we get to multi-step problems, it's going to help you. All right, I want you to try this problem on your own, and let's see what you get. We'll check your answer with mine. So go ahead and pause that video. All right, hopefully you paused the video and you set your proportion up like mine. I'm comparing gallons to quarts. I know based on my STAR chart that in 1 gallon there are 4 quarts. And then from the problem, I have 4 gallons, but I want to know how many quarts that is. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So 4 times 4 gives me 16. Divided by 1 is still 16. So I would say x equals 16 quarts. All right. So let's take a look at the next example. So our next example is I have 540 inches to blank yards. Well, if I look at my STAR chart, I see inches, but it doesn't go directly to yards. It goes to feet. So this is an example of a multi-step problem, okay, where I'm going to have to write 2 proportions. So in this case, I'm going to focus on first feet to inches. So I have inches to feet. I know 12 inches is in 1 foot. I have 540 inches. I don't know how many feet that is. So I'm going to go ahead and solve. So cross multiply. 540 times 1 gives me 540. And then divide by 12 because that's left over. I'm sorry, I messed up. That should be a 5 there. There we go. So I get x equals 45 feet. Now, this is not my final answer because I'm looking for yards. So now I got to set up my second proportion showing feet to yards. So I know that 3 feet is in 1 yard. And what's given to me is I had to solve for that 45. So 45 feet over x yards. Now I can cross multiply, which gives me 45. And then divide by what's left over. So that'll be 3. And I'm going to get x equals 15 yards. So this is a good example of why we need to write these proportions, since I have to go from inches to yards. It's not direct. All right, so go ahead and try this problem on your own. As you know by this time that we're not just given problems to solve. We are given word problems that we have to read. All right, so go ahead and try this on your own and you'll check your work with mine. All right, so hopefully you paused the video and tried this on your own. This is what your proportion should look like. Okay, I'm comparing pounds to ounces. I get my info from my star chart where it says 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Something I need to point out is underneath volume and capacity, it says fluid ounces, and under weight and mass, we have ounces. These are 2 different measurements. Okay, fluid ounces and ounces are not the same. So make sure you are using the correct one. Okay. Now, I get to cross multiply and then divide by 1, and I should get x equals 54.4 ounces. All right. Now, at this point in time, if you are in a regular math class, okay, if you're in a regular math class, here is what you're going to do. You are hopefully done taking your notes. You're going to go to your Google Classroom. Sorry, this is for regular math. Underneath classwork, there is an exit ticket for you to complete. It is a total of 5 questions. So you're going to complete that at this time. And if you need your star chart, it is underneath week 12 as well. Now, so if you are a level regular 6th grade math class, all right, you can go ahead and end the video. If you're an honors or a GT student, you're going to continue watching this because now we need to talk about a 7th grade topic for you, and that is converting between systems. Okay, so the 6th grade topic is going from converting between just customary or converting between just metric system. Okay, now I have the capability of going from custom to metric. And here's how. All right. You're not going to have this on your star chart. All right. So the difference with 7th grade is you're not given these conversion factors on a star chart. Okay. So in 6th grade, you can find everything on a star chart. With the 7th grade conversions from custom to metric, you're not going to see that. So the problem should be given to you, or sorry, the conversion factor should be given to you. If it's not, let your teacher know because that's a mistake on our part. Now, the bright side is you're still going to set this up the same. I'm going to write my word ratio. So for number 1, I'm going from inches to centimeters. I'm going to look at what I know. I know 1 inch is approximately 2.54 centimeters. Now, that little squiggle line means approximately. It does not mean equal. Okay, the approximately means it's not exact. So I'm going to write 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. And then I'm given 5 inches for my problem, x centimeters. And now I can go through and solve this the same. I'm going to cross multiply and then divide, so I get x equals 12.70 centimeters. Now, something I want to bring up, and this is really going to apply to the second problem, because these conversions are approximate, they're not exact. Therefore, when you're multiplying or dividing, you may get a decimal that keeps going. I'm not saying it's repeating, the number just keeps going. So in that situation, we're going to want to round to the hundredths, to 2 decimal places. So that means when you divide, go to 3 decimal places so that way you can round to 2. All right, go ahead and try this next problem on your own and see how you do. So go ahead and pause that video. All right, if you pause the video and try this on your own, hopefully this is what your proportion, forgot a T, looks like. So then all I have to do is cross multiply, and I'm going to get x equals 1,892 and 70 hundredths milliliters. So really, the main difference between the 6th and 7th grade is the 7th grade, you're given the conversion factor. All right, so let's talk about what you need to do now. All right, so if y'all head on to Google Classroom, all right, y'all are also going to have an exit ticket. It's 5 questions. The first 3 are 6th grade topics. The number 4 and 5 are 7th grade topics. Okay, so this will be due by 11:59 p.m. tonight. You also have a star chart available for your use. And just a reminder, if you look at your stream, y'all have a homework due tonight and your benchmark review due Friday. Remember, tutoring is available on Mondays and Wednesdays, and if y'all have questions, please reach out to your teacher.